I'm here with Daniel Phillips, who's the England captain for the upcoming European Championships, and also with Stuart Oliver, the Scottish captain. So there's a bit of rivalry here, guys. Obviously, you're still putting together your teams at the moment. How difficult is it to get the right players into the team?
Well, obviously, because we're one of the major countries, we've got a choice of quite a few players, and it's going to be difficult to get 4 people from the list. I'm sort of putting together a short list at the moment. It's quite a long list, but you'd have to ask Stuart about the minority countries and how they're going to cope.
I think it's as Dan says, it's a very difficult choice. Of course, the best players are in Scotland, which makes it incredibly difficult. We have 4 here at the final table today, and each and every one of them is worthy of a place.
Now, obviously, you're just picking four players. I'm assuming I've seen you both posted on the forum threads asking for PMs, for people that want to come forward. What's the kind of response been like?
Well, the problem we've got is I've had about 50 PMs already, and all the champions this year so far, I think, are they all English? So obviously I've got the cream of the crop to pick from, whereas Stuart's job's obviously slightly easier because there's a smaller number of players, and like he said, all 4 are on the final table today.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dan. I mean, all I can say is last year's event where we had the quality players, Phil Stars, for example, played an EPT event and cashed. He's cashed in the Irish Open, and I think he scored probably more points individually than the whole of the English team. Then, of course, we've got Gordon MacArthur last year, who I described as one of the best players never to win an APAT tournament, unlike Dan here, of course, who has been quoted as being one of the worst players to have won an APAT tournament. Yeah,
I mean, there's the thing about the tournament is it's the format's, I don't think it's been decided yet. It's probably going to be sit and goes and heads up. Stuart, for example, knows that the difficulty playing heads up and finishing second in an APAT event shows that you're, obviously falling at the final hurdle, whereas the English players, it's one of their strengths, like myself. So I think we're fairly confident in the format, and this year we're going to get the team right. We're going to have the players who will be able to operate in those circumstances. And but it'd be good. I mean, we need teams like the smaller countries like Scotland to make up the numbers, and to give the event a full sort of European coverage. But really looking forward to it.
Now, obviously, last year the Irish managed to take down the tournament with a lot of team spirit. Stuart, you were actually there for that weekend. How do you look to actually try and take their crown away from them?
Well, I think the luck of the Irish is all I can say. If you saw those hands on that final table, the Irish themselves, we had many drinks with them afterwards and did admit to us that they did hit the cards. I think the English were in a different casino at that point, given that they didn't want to lose any more money to the Scots. And just on the heads up, I do remember there was an England-Scotland heads up last year. Can't quite remember the result. Maybe Daniel will fill us in on that.
Like I said, this year it's a new year. I don't actually look back on last year's. Obviously mistakes were made, but this year will be completely different. And I'm confident that, I don't know if we'll win or not. It'd be nice to win, but we'll definitely beat Scotland.
Now, obviously, the European Championships aside, you're both actually captains of online teams in the Central League. I'm not sure whether actually, Dan, I want to even ask you how you're going. Maybe I should just talk to Stuart.
Sounds like a good idea.
Sorry, are Nottingham in the same league?
I believe they are. I'm not sure how many points has your team got so far, Dan?
I think that's my taxi that's just arrived.
Stuart, now you're obviously Leeds captain and doing extremely well this year. Who's your star players? Who's been really performing?
Well, we've got Nosy P, Wayne Parker. He had a great run season 1. Went a bit quiet in season 2.
I believe he's English.
Yeah, he plays for Leeds. Yeah. And he has, I think, 27 points. So he's leading the individual points for Leeds. Mark Redshaw, a couple of others. I'm actually not in the top 4 myself, so I need to address that soon.
I think the people who've been doing well for Leeds are English.
That is understandable, given that it's Leeds, which is in England.
And you're playing for them, but you're not one of the top point scorers.
No, but I have points. That's the points are the things, Dan, you get when you actually make the final table. Yeah.
Okay, keeping this on the online league, Who else is performing well in the Central Division? Who do you think your main competitors are for getting to the grand final?
Well, I think there's 5 teams. It's very close, only 1 or 2 points between them. Liverpool are doing well. We've got Manchester, headed up with Rob Swindles there, Walsall, and Birmingham. I'd say I was just glad that Nottingham, I thought they were in a different league. You know, they've got Dan Phillips there, they've got George Biddy, Neil Blatch there. What star players! I just can't believe you tell me they're in the same league.
Well, all I can say is good luck to you both the rest of the online league, and I'm sure what's going to be a very, very interesting 4 days down in Luton later on in the year in the European Team Champs.
Oh, I think it will be.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, guys.